welcome you into the main lobby of the Southwood County 2000 ice rink. We're going to catch up with the Riverkings. They've been on the road throughout the month of October, and we're going to talk about how things have been going at the start of the season and get you ready for the start of the home campaign that will begin here in the month of November. Art Napgezek is our producer and videographer. I'm Milton Natta, and welcome to Riverkings Hockey. We're joined by Devin Roeder, the assistant coach of the Riverkings. And Devin, we'd like to get caught up on what's been happening out there in October. Tell us about this first month of the season for the Riverkings.
It's not the way we want to start 5-5, but with us coming back home and the first home opener coming up, I know the boys are excited, and we're ready to come back home because it's always been the best place to play, I think.
So what have you learned about your hockey team? 10 games under your belt, been on the road for a month, one showcase, all of those things have happened. What have you, and as much as you can tell us, what have you and Marty been talking about, what you're learning about your hockey team?
We're a great puck possession team. We like to have the puck as best we can. We have very good control of it, and our D step up and make some big plays when they can. Our goalies definitely held us in a few games. We're just kind of having trouble with finding the back of the net, but this past weekend the boys started picking it up, and we played a great game of hockey against Hampton, who won it all last year, and I think now they see where they can play and who they can play against.
Sometimes it can be a game that you don't win, but you can see things turn around in that can be a pivot point, if you will, in your season, can't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough being down 2-1 against them, and then they made Jared Stevenson made a great play, made a great read, and stepped up and scored a shorthanded goal. And I think the boys got extremely fired up, and they saw that they can play against a really tough team. And I mean, just building that confidence right now and coming home, I think that's really going to benefit us.
So talk about the home schedule and getting 4 home hockey games here coming up at the start of November. How will your routine change being at home?
I think it's just going to give us more energy. I mean, we're going to play and practice the way we do every day. We're going to go hard, physical, and fast. I mean, it's just going to give us more energy. I mean, being in front of our fans always helps. I mean, they're a great crowd. They make it live. They really pump us up. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say about our fans. They're just so great.
So we look forward to the Riverkings coming home as well and having coverage here on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media that you can watch the game action from the Southwood County 2000 rink. So if we take the season in increments, well, you know, October, you start off, you learn about your hockey club, you're on the road. What is coaches are your goals for this team in November, so that if we sit down 1 month from now in early December and do an interview, Devin, what do you hope that you have accomplished in the growth of the team in this next month?
That our boys are playing Riverking hockey. I mean, we're starting to figure it out each and every day. I mean, practice gets harder and everyone gets more excited, but as soon as we figure out how to play Riverking hockey, I think we'll take off from there.
One final question for Devin in this segment of Riverking Hockey, and that is, Devin, the news being announced about who will be the captains and assistant captains of this hockey team. Can you give our fans at home a sense of 2 things? The first of which is how you go about selecting that on a club who gets to do that, because they actually have an on-ice role when they wear that C or that A, and then also why it's so important to the team itself.
I mean, the boys who got selected, they work hard. They don't ever give up, and I mean, they show up every single day. And I think with that leadership and their on-ice role, it's kind of hard not to pick them. And I mean, they're leaders on and off the ice. They help all the rookies. They help every player. They help even the coaches some nights where we need to get stuff done, and they're first ones there to help, say, we'll help you get it done. So yeah.
Is it you as a coaching staff that makes those selections? Players vote? How are the selections actually made?
Marty and the coaching staff made the decision.
All right. Thank you, Devin.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to be talking with some of the Riverking players next. We continue now on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. Visiting now with two of the three young men who were named captains of the Riverkings for this 2018-19 season. They are on my left, Jesse Edwards, and on my right, Raymond Fleming. And we're going to talk with Jesse and Raymond. And guys, let's do that first. Jesse, just talk to us about how you felt when you got the news about getting to be a captain of this squad.
It was awesome. Obviously, it's a huge honor to have Marty give us that. Give us the C's, and it's something that at the beginning of the season Marty told us that we had to be leaders, and so we went into the season and up to this point we've tried to do that and show the rookies the ropes and stuff like that. So getting the C's is kind of a formality where we can go talk to the refs and everything, but I don't think much changes as far as the way that we lead and what our roles are on and off the ice. So.
All right, Raymond, how about for you? How did you feel about getting the word that you'd be one of the captains of the squad?
Yeah, it's exciting, but it comes with a lot of responsibility, obviously, as a captain. You gotta, if something happens, just not really good around the rink, it's like some of the new guys mess up, it's on the leaders right there, especially the captains. So Marty's putting a lot of responsibility on us. But just because you don't have a letter, there's a lot of guys without letters this year, but they're still a really big part of the team, big leaders on the team. So I think everyone on the team is really important.
So what I just heard from you, Raymond, is that the practice responsibilities, the off-ice responsibilities of a captain might be even more important than they are on game night.
Oh, for sure. For let's say for practice or some off-ice workouts, the leaders are going to step up and tell new guys what to do. If they have some questions, they'll just lead them through off and on the ice.
So one of the things our fans are going to see, because they're not there during practice, they're not there on the bus rides, all those different things, they might see a penalty call being made, and then they're going to see that captain skate up in front of the scorer's bench and wait there. Can you just tell us a little bit about what the context of the conversations are between the players and the officials in that moment of the game, so as our fans watch it this year, they kind of have a better understanding?
I'm not too familiar with it because I usually don't have that kind of position, but from what I've seen, every time I played hockey, any game, they're in the middle. Usually, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really see a point in it, but I guess they're just trying to clarify why they called the call. But I think 0 times in my career have I seen a penalty get overturned after someone's talked in the middle. But I think it's just to clarify why the penalty was called.
Yeah, and sometimes carry information back to the coaching staff and the bench there. Yeah. So, Jesse, for you, tell us a little bit more about practice is coming up here in about an hour and a half or so. Just talk to us about the role that you and Raymond and Adam in particular will have as a captain, because everybody looks to that spot as well. When you've been on the team, for instance, last year, you looked to the captains for certain things. Talk about that for us.
Well, yeah, we got practice here in about an hour or so. So, we'll get everybody upstairs. At this point in the year, most people know what they're doing, so it's not as we don't need to do as much of a job. But yeah, we get everybody upstairs. We run through warm-ups, and then when we get on the ice, if we're doing a new drill or something that maybe we've done in years past that the new guys haven't seen yet, we'll usually go front of the line, go through it first, and then at the end of practice, if Marty has us doing a workout or something, we'll go upstairs with Devin, helps us run through it. But it's our responsibility to make sure the guys are focused and stuff like that.
What have you learned about this team in this first month on the road? Devin talked about the team being 5-5, and you never want that, but yet at the same time, it's a building block month. What did you learn about the team?
Yeah, like Devin said, I think we're a really good puck possession team. So some of the losses we've had, if you were to look at the score, it wouldn't seem like we were like in the game as much as we were. I think for the most part, we're usually heavily outpossess the other team. It's just like sometimes the bounces aren't going our way. Obviously, we're having trouble putting the puck in the back of the net, and I think that's on the leaders and some of the top guys to start producing. And but other than that, I think we show up every game ready to go for the most part, and yeah, I think it's only going to get better as the season goes on.
So you're a forward, you're a goal scorer. If the puck's not going in the net, first of all, is there kind of a building level of frustration that just needs one or two to go in and then everything kind of flows out of that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, as the games kind of keep going and you're not producing, it starts to get in your head about, maybe what am I doing wrong? Marty tells us that not to think about it as much, just kind of crash the net, maybe take the fancy stuff out of the game, maybe just make it more simple, and yeah, I think eventually it'll come along.
Okay. So, Raymond, how about you? What have you learned about this hockey club in the first month of the season?
I think Jesse wrapped it up pretty well. Just good puck possession. Always, we work hard. I think actually Marty did tell us this last year as well. The team works hard. I think you just have to work a little smarter. That's what Marty was saying. I think if we work smarter, we'll put the pucks in the back of the net, reduce those kind of little mental mistakes in the D zone, the O zone, and then we should be able to win more games.
As a defenseman, answer this question for me. When do you pick to drop down and engage in the offensive play, especially when the team is struggling to score goals? And when do you have to make sure your discipline, stay back, cover the point, make sure you got your defensive responsibilities taken care of?
Usually in the offensive zone, we have our last forward is usually a little higher up in the zone, so that guy is going to usually give us support if we step. It's all about communication. It's a huge part of our team, and we have to make sure we communicate. So when the defense wants to step into that zone there, we got to tell our forward to cover us, or tell our partner to cover us.
But you have the freedom to do that, just to pick your spots as long as you communicate back.
As long as everyone has a position and there's no odd man rushes, we should be fine. We can kind of go a little bit wherever we want.
So how about that game that we heard about against the champs? Didn't win the game, but yet your level of play, your level of compete was such that it gave you some optimism and some hope heading into November.
Yeah, Dom, he played that game. He was really, really great in that. Gave us a chance there. They had a couple power plays, but our penalty kill did really well. Yeah, I think we should have buried a little more chances, but we got a couple goals, and it was a really close game.
So what word do you have, Raymond, for the fans? They're going to get the first chance to come on out, fill these seats, cheer you guys on here now in November. What word do you have for River King fans?
Marty's, like he said, our game style is a fast, hard, physical. So I'd say just expect a fast, hard, and physical game once you come watch our home games.
Jesse, how about for you? What word do you have for River King fans in inviting them to come on out here in November?
Just be excited, be loud. I mean, the more the fans are into it, the more energy we can find when we're playing, and yeah, hopefully we have some juice and we're ready to go.
All right. That's Jesse Edwards and Raymond Fleming. We've got a couple of more River Kings to talk with. That's next on River King Hockey here on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. On this segment of River Kings Hockey, we're going to meet two new River Kings who are both Texans. Here on my left is Peyton Carter. He hails from Fort Worth. And on my right is Jordan Steer. He hails from Frisco, Texas. And we're going to talk with them about joining the River Kings this first month and about youth hockey in that North Texas area. Gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to North Central Wisconsin and to River Kings Hockey. Peyton, tell us your story a little bit. How did you get from Fort Worth and youth hockey there here to the River Kings in Wisconsin Rapids?
Well, in Texas, I kind of just worked my way throughout the levels, like started off kind of at a lower level and then like worked my way up to the AAA level is what they call it. And then I went to a tryout for this team and Marty signed me. So it's been a fun journey for sure.
When did you first start playing youth hockey?
I was like 6, I think. So it's a long time I've been playing.
Now, talk to us a little bit, Peyton, because our first impression is that hockey's a North sport. But yet now when we're talking about North Texas, we're talking about areas in which we don't normally think of as hockey hotbeds. Yet you tell me it's growing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like you get a lot of like former NHL players, like the professional guys, like coming down and coaching, and it's just like it's just growing. Like there's so many more kids getting involved in playing and prospects as well. Like it's just a lot of kids are moving on from like the youth leagues there to the junior levels. So it's growing every day.
Jordan, let's talk about some of those same things for you. Tell us about your journey that got you here to Wisconsin Rapids and a member of the River Kings.
Yeah, so my coach from last year, he's a good buddy with the owner of our team, and he sent out a word, and one day Marty called me, and we just started building a relationship, and I went up to the same tryout as Peyton in Chicago, met with Marty, and things just took off from there. I signed a contract and found my way here.
All right. So talk to us about your youth hockey journey as well. When did you start playing youth hockey?
I was around 3 years old. I went to a minor hockey game and just fell in love with it ever since. Came home, started playing with the mini sticks on the floors, and just took off from there.
And Jordan's a defenseman, and he'll be playing on the D this year for the Riverkings. How about in your area there in Frisco? We're talking all about the Metroplex area of Dallas-Fort Worth, but what have you seen in terms of the growth of youth hockey there?
You know, every day it's getting a little bit better. You're getting more and more coaches that are coming down from all over, from the north. There's more jobs coming down, so they're coming down. You got the former pros, like Peyton said. They're kind of setting up down there, their facilities, and just it's also helping with the NHL team down there. They're getting better by the year, and it's just becoming more and more popular every day.
So we should expect more junior level hockey players that are Texans, shouldn't we?
For sure. Every single day.
Okay.
We're getting better.
So talk about your first month as a River King showcase in Chicago, and just tell us about getting used to this league and this level of play, Jordan.
Obviously, coming from AAA, it's a big step. The game's a lot faster, harder, and physical. And being on the road the whole first month, it's pretty grueling on the body. But we got a great group of leaders that show us what to do every single day, and it's been a pretty easy adjustment because they show us the ropes.
Peyton, how about that same question for you? If you could tell us about what you've learned over this first month and getting used to a new level of play.
Like the first month has been like so much fun. It's definitely a more intense game, but it's so fun to play. And it's definitely a different style, but I don't know. But the leaders have definitely shown me the way of how to get used to it and stuff. So.
What about that last game? We've heard a lot about that in the program. Got the defending champs on this level, and you play them. What did you learn about yourself and your teammates in that game?
That we can, we work hard even whenever we're that was our fourth game of the weekend. We were so tired, but we still battled through it and did played our best and up to their level, which is great.
Talk to us just a little bit about getting used to your billet family, getting used to a new community. How's that adjustment off the ice going for you, Peyton?
It was definitely tough to start, but it's getting easier and easier. They're so welcoming and they help you out with everything. I mean, they're always there for you whenever if you're homesick or something, they're always there for you. So it was easier than I thought it'd be for sure. So.
Jordan, how about for you in terms of getting used to your billet family and getting used to a new community here?
First time away from home, it's always a little bit scary, but it helps that I'm actually living with Peyton, and the billet family is just so welcoming, and you spend a lot of time with the boys at the rink. Kids that have been through it previous years, they know what's going on, so if you get a little bit homesick, they're always there for you and tell you kind of what helped them when they were a little bit homesick, and it's just perfect.
Last question here for both Jordan and Peyton. These fans haven't gotten the chance to see you play yet. They're going to see that here in the month of November. Just give us a little scouting report on Jordan.
I'm a defenseman that's pretty smart. I like to have the puck on my stick at all times to make smart plays with it, set up the boys, give them the best opportunity to score. But defensively, I'm always willing to block shots, be a good second layer, and give our goalie the best possible chance to keep their goals against average down and save percentage up.
So over this first month, have you settled into a partnership with the D pair?
Yeah, I've actually been fortunate enough to play with Raymond, and he was pretty successful last year. He had a key role in the Riverkings success last year, so he's helped me a lot. I'm still young. I have a lot to learn, and he's been really helpful, helping me adjust to the junior hockey style.
Peyton, give us a scouting report on you.
I like to think I'm pretty fast on the ice, but I just need to. I'm pretty smart most of the time. I just got to get used to the level, obviously, and the style of play. So pretty fast, I guess. Yeah.
So one final word, Peyton. What's it like during the first part of the training camp, and then you get into the season, of learning your teammates on your line? I mean, you're out there with two other forwards. Talk about learning as line mates specifically.
Well, the other two, both of my other line mates are obviously from different programs as well. So there's like me and then the two others, there's 3 different styles of play. So it was a difficult adjustment, but once you play with them like for, like what it's been a couple months now, you get used to them and their style of play. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to find them on the ice because you know where they're going to be. So.
That's Peyton Carter and Jordan Steer, 2 Texans and 2 new River Kings for the 2018-19 season. Now you stay tuned because we're heading to the boxing gym to take a look at training that the River Kings do at that location. And then later we're going to hear about Try Hockey for Free in the month of November. So you stay tuned as River Kings hockey continues on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. We are sitting ringside at the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club location in Nakusa. For this edition of River Kings Hockey, our guest is a familiar face. This is Wayne Brown, the longtime assistant coach to Marty Quarters in his 5th year now with the River Kings program. He's been with them since the very first day. And Wayne, let's ask the obvious question first. What does boxing have to do with hockey? Why is the River Kings hockey team here at the boxing club training?
Actually, boxing does a lot for your hand-eye coordination. It gives you confidence. It's another good way for conditioning. You're going to see them jump rope. They're going to see them spar. They're going to hit the bags, and that's after leaving the rink today and having a good skate. So that's the main thing. Is those little things that one sport can't give you. You can draw from another sport. So.
Is it common for other hockey programs to do this, or is this something that's fairly unique to the River Kings?
I think it's very common amongst NHL players. In fact, I used to, when I coached down here with a boxing club, there was a team up there in St. Paul. The Brunette brothers were them, and the majority of the North Stars up there used to go there and train. And in the pros, that's something a lot of them do. And now when you get down to the amateurs, I haven't really heard a lot of them doing it. And now that actually fighting isn't allowed too much in amateur hockey, there's not much that goes on there then.
So just so that all of our fans are really clear, this isn't preparing the players to be in a fight during the game. This has other purposes that you're trying to achieve.
Right. That has other purposes. Should they get into a fight, and it happens. It's going to happen a few times this year. They're going to be able to understand how to handle themselves in that situation.
So tell us a little bit. We're going to talk with Nick Maher here in a few moments, but tell us about the association with the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club and how I'm sure that you were instrumental in bringing the two together, the club uniting with the River Kings in a program.
I was in a way. Marty found out about me. My son was coaching a team in lacrosse, and Marty and Steve Cruiser, who owns the Hazard shop at the rink, they were coaching a team, and he coached against my son. And afterwards, Steve Cruiser brought him over to me, and I had just gotten retired from the paper mill. And he asked me if I would be interested in teaching boxing to his team. And I said, well, I got to give it a little thought. I just retired, And I said, the thing about it is, usually when I get involved in something, I go all the way, and that's what I've done. So
give us a little report from your perspective on the start of the season. The season's underway now. We haven't been able to see the River Kings on the ice because there's been all these road games. But give us an early report on the team.
Well, we're 5-5 right now. Our team is just starting to gel. We went to a showcase in Chicago over the weekend. We won 2 games and we lost 2 games. But the really neat thing about it was we played last year's national champion, and it was a war. We figure we got gypped on a few of the calls, but we lost 4-2, and we played well. And the other team we lost to we outshot them 31-15. They just happened to pull out that win, that 4-2 win. But I think our team is starting to gel, and I really am a believer of going to these showcases a couple times, because for the 3 days, all you got on your mind is hockey. And that's how a team starts to gel. That's when everything really sinks in. And that's all you do. So,
Wayne, I'd like you to conclude our interview by talking about the impact that the sport of boxing's had on your life, because it's been a long association for you. It goes way back. Just tell us about what it's meant to you and what it's contributed to your life.
Every kid finds himself a sport that they enjoy. You know, not every kid, but most kids do. They find a sport. And I tried baseball. I wasn't very good at baseball. I tried football, and I enjoyed it a lot. But it was, I really wasn't big enough, I don't believe, back then. I was about 140 pounds in high school, so I wasn't really big enough to play football. But boxing was something that my whole family did. Boxing was something my whole family did, and there was 4 of the boys in our family boxed. 2 of them didn't. My sister didn't, but it was what I was drawn to and what I loved to do, and I trained hard. I was a state champion. I've coached at the professional level. I coached the Wisconsin team in the National Golden Gloves in St. Louis. I've been out to the U.S. Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs 3 different times back when I was really into boxing, to different camps. Some of the guys we had in those camps one ended up being a 5-time world champion. His name was Johnny Tapia. Another one was Hector Lopez. He was a 2-time world champion. And there I was, along with 4 other coaches, and the head Olympic coach, whose name was Roosevelt Sanders. He was head Olympic coach in LA in '84. But every morning we sat and we ate together. We discussed what the day was going to be about, and it was one of the things that I identified with that made me feel good about myself. Boxing was. So.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Milt.
We'll continue from the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. We'll be meeting Nick Maher as the Riverkings do their boxing training. We'll be right back with more on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. Visiting now with Nick Maher, who is the lead coach for the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club and who leads his practice with the River King players on Mondays. Nick, tell us first of all about your background in boxing that led you to this place in coaching.
I started with the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. My 2 older brothers were in it for years. I started working out when I was 8 or 9 years old. Fought for about 10 years straight. Won 6 state titles, 6 regional titles. Went to 4 national tournaments, and always really loved boxing, obviously, and got out of it in later years, in my 20s, and still had the itch. So I called Ken up and says, hey, I'd really like to start, helping out at the gym. And he said, by all means, come on down. And here we are 4 months later, and I'm running the practices and getting the fighters up here. And when Wayne asked about the hockey players, we said, we'd love to have them.
So first of all, tell me about the scope of the program that you run with the boxing club. How many local folks are involved right now in your boxing program?
Right now, it's just about to get busy. The local football schools, the football teams chew up a lot of our local athletes, Port Edwards, Nakusa. So about this time of the year, football starts to end. We'll have anywhere from 10 to 20, 25 kids in the gym every night, 3 nights a week. But in the summers, it's more lenient, more serious fighters. We have 5, 6 kids on average in the summertime. And whom are which all very active fighters, and then we usually have 2 or 3 people that come down and just use the facility for working out. They may never fight, but they come in, they do the workout, they get the, get the cardio.
So is the program that you put together for the hockey players in any way different than you put together for the young people who are looking at boxing for the sake of competing in boxing?
When I was asked to do this with the hockey players, I thought about how I was going to run it, and I told them on night 1 when they started coming, I says, I'm not I'm not going to train anyone different. I'm going to train these guys the way I would train any other fighter. You know, I'm going to teach them the same punches. I'm going to work with them the same, and as they come along, we'll move them up. You know, and some guys advance quicker than others. You got them throwing a plethora of combinations already. You know, but no, I train all the fighters the same. You know, it's the same. You know, defense, offense, it's all the same. So I just kept it the same.
So we have some footage of you working with some of the players doing what you were called catching their punches. Yep. Tell us about that as Art puts in some of that footage.
The mitt work is the most important work I feel that you can do with a boxer, because it's the molding of a fighter, especially in the beginning stages of training an athlete. You know, they do other sports, in their case hockey, you know, so you have different muscle memory rhythmatics, and you know, you need to break those in the ring. You know, they need to separate boxing from football or basketball, or wrestling is a big one. Trying to break the stance, you know. So punch catching is where you mold them, you know. That's where you teach them their combinations, you show them how to do it right, and then you hope that the rest of the practice, shadow boxing, sparring, bag work, that's all self-efficient now, you know. You've taught them everything you need them to work on tonight, they'll go work on it, you know. So punch catching is, in my opinion, the best thing you can do for a fighter.
That's Nick Maher. He's the lead coach for the Wisconsin Rapids Boxing Club. We're thankful for the few minutes he was able to spend with us here on this edition of River Kings Hockey.
Welcome. I'm Jim Arnold, Wisconsin Rapids River Kings Zamboni driver. And this afternoon we're going to visit with a couple of friends as we get ready for our November Try Hockey for Free event and our first home games of the season. So, can you tell us your name, number, and where you're from?
I'm Luke Milius, number 19. I'm from Dubuque, Iowa.
Okay, and?
I'm Drake Bradshaw. I'm number 1, and I'm from Lapeer, Michigan.
Okay, guys, we're getting ready for Look Alive season number 5, and another catchphrase that we've used with the River Kings is building hockey up and down the river. So we're getting ready for our November 10th Try Hockey for Free event. The event will be held right before your game, so 4:30 to 5:30, our Youth Hockey Association will be asking kids ages 4 to 9 to come out and try hockey for free. Any kids that do try hockey for free will be welcome to come to the game with free admission with a paid adult. So, tell me a little bit, how long has it been since you started skating? How old were you when you hit the ice?
My first time skating was, I remember I was 3 years old. My parents took me up. We were in Milwaukee, and they have a little strip mall outside, and it had like a ice rink, so that was my first time ever skating.
Okay, very cool.
I started to skate when I was around 4 years old. My parents would take me to learn the skates at a local ice rink, so that's...
Nice, that's pretty neat. Now, what's your favorite part about coming to the ice rink? What's your memories of walking into the rink?
My favorite thing is just see the boys. You know, I love seeing here. I love coming here. I'll definitely be on the ice. I love being down here. It's always a good time down here. Marty always says to earn your paycheck, and that's the number one thing for me is to earn it. So.
Okay, very cool. Thanks, Luke. And Jake?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like Luke said, just putting in the work on the ice because we want to get that paycheck at the end of the week.
So, Luke, tell me what makes hockey fun for you?
Definitely seeing the boys. That's the number one thing for me. If I'm having fun on the ice, and that's the number one thing for me.
Okay, and Drake, how about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like Luke said, just hanging out with the guys, and I love improving on the ice, just getting better skill-wise, just playing the game, seeing how it's done, you know. That's what I love.
So you guys haven't had a chance to see a home crowd. We're working on building hockey up and down the river. As part of having kids ages 4 to 9, you guys have helped out with some projects around the rink, Pumpkin Fest in the community. What's your first impression of Wisconsin Rapids and something you'd like to do to see some more kids in the stands?
My first impression is it's a really nice community. It's laid back. I know I'm from Dubuque, so there's about 70,000 people there, so it's a lot smaller, but it's been good to me so far, so I really do appreciate that.
Very cool. We're treating you all right here?
Of course.
Okay, and Drake, how about you? What do you think about how many fans do you think we'll see at the home opener and then the weekend of November 9-10?
Oh yeah, so we've done a lot of stuff in the community, so I think through all that support, through the tight-knit community, I think they're going to be raring to go after our first few games here.
That's fantastic. As we get ready for November, and November 2nd and 3rd and 9th and 10th, we'll be welcoming 4 to 9-year-old boys and girls to try hockey for free and stay and catch these guys playing November 10th. All right, we're back here at the ice rink. The Riverkings practice finished up this afternoon, but we're going to meet a couple of our Mite hockey players that had a chance to skate with the Riverkings in September. So let's introduce you to a couple of our Mite players. You want to tell me your name, where you go to school, and how many years you've been skating?
My name is Kayla Moorbacher. I've been skating for 2 years, and I go to St. Mary's Our Lady Queen of Heaven.
Sounds good. And then our other yellow jersey, tell me your name, where you go to school, and how many years you've been skating.
Okay. I'm Ian. I go to Grant.
And how long have you been skating?
I've been skating for 2 years.
Okay, so these guys have been on the ice. We have practice going on behind us, and last month we had a chance to skate with some of the Riverkings. So can you tell me, what did you like about skating with the Riverkings?
I liked the goalie.
Okay, Ian, how about you?
I like to shoot on the goalie.
You got to shoot on the goalie. How'd you do?
Good.
Now, a couple of the other things is we talked to the Riverkings about how long they've been skating and what their favorite thing to do at the ice rink. So I'm curious for you guys, what's your favorite part about playing hockey?
Trying to learn and have fun.
Learn and have fun? That's a great answer. How about you, Ian?
Playing a hockey game.
What's your favorite part about playing a hockey game?
That I can shoot goals.
Okay, and our last question is, you have to tell me, who's your favorite River King?
Rayon.
And Ian, who's your favorite River King?
Parker, the goalie.
All right. Thanks much, guys. We'll let you get back to practice.
Hi, my name is Missy Cook. I'm the Youth Mite Hockey Coordinator. This is Coach Scott Whitrock. We are here to talk a little bit about youth hockey. Just a couple questions for you, Coach. What do you like about youth hockey?
It's great for the kids. Wintertime in Wisconsin, you need something to do. We play for about 6 months a year. The kids love it to come out here, start at a young age, and it's a great sport for them.
And one more question. What will youth hockey bring out in the kids out here?
It's a great team exercise. The kids learn to be competitive, to have good teammates. They work hard. You know, those are life lessons that we try to start at a young age for them. So they should enjoy themselves.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm standing ringside here with Samantha Franz, hockey parent, and I just have a couple questions to ask. What do you hope youth hockey will provide for your kid?
I'm really hoping that youth hockey provides my children with an opportunity to work with coaches and with other players to form some really good relationships and friendships, and also to build a strong work ethic.
Sounds good. And what's your favorite part about being down at the rink?
Watching them have fun and play and enjoy things is probably my favorite part.
That's awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
A couple more mites to meet here today. So can you tell me your name and where you go to school?
My name is Dalton. I go to Humke Elementary.
Okay.
My name is Simon, and I go to Woodside.
Very cool. So today we're asking a couple of the players, how long have you guys been skating? How about for you, Dalton?
I think I've been skating for half of 2 hours.
Okay. And Simon?
Maybe 40 minutes.
Sounds good. And the last question today is, what's your favorite part about coming to hockey practice?
That we get to play that we get to have big goals and try to make goals.
Okay, and Simon?
Mine is scrimmage.
The scrimmages are your favorite? Very cool. Well, thank you for your time today. We'll let you guys get back to practice. So we get a chance to visit with our veterans here, and our themes have been Season 5 Look Alive and building hockey up and down the river. You guys have been a part of building hockey up and down the river since the beginning, and want to have a chance to find out the beginning of you guys playing hockey. So can you tell me, how old were you when you started skating?
I started skating when I was about 3 years old. My sister had a birthday party, and I went down there and skated, and after that I just fell in love, and my dad signed me up for Learn to Skate, and from there it just took off.
Okay, sounds good. And how about you, Richie?
Similar situation. I started skating when I was about 4 years old. My uncle played goalie in high school, so growing up when my parents decided if I wanted to play a sport, my mom just decided to put me on the ice, and that's just what I've been doing ever since. So I enjoy it. It's fun.
Very cool. How about coming down to the rink? What's your favorite part of walking into the ice rink?
My favorite part's just knowing that you have a team of brothers you get to walk into every day. You know, Also, there's just a distinct smell an ice rink has, and I just love that. Every day I get to walk in and experience that, and it's just unreal being able to play this sport.
Very cool. Richie?
Yeah, same thing. I love walking into the rink and smelling that kind of cold air. It just reminds me that, like, it's awesome to have an opportunity to skate and play hockey almost every day. So I enjoy every second of it. I love going to the locker room, talking to the guys, and just having a good time and working hard.
Very cool. Now, as veterans, how many people do you think we'll be seeing this season? You've had that opportunity to see our fans grow over the years, and looking forward to it to continue to grow again. You get a chance to tell that to the rookies, and what's your outlook for this upcoming season when we start having home games here at Southwood County Rec Center?
Just looking to have a successful year and hopefully get another banner up in the rafters here, and just the goal is always to win a championship, and that's just what we're looking forward to and building to. And we're just getting that built into the young guys, and everyone's starting to buy in, and the pieces are falling into place, and it's fun coming here every day.
And Richie?
Yeah, I have to agree with Petey. I think it's pretty simple, is to win a championship and hang up another banner. I think each year we've been getting better and better, and Marty's bringing in a lot of great guys, great hard workers, so I don't see why we can't win a national championship here, so I'm excited.
These guys have big expectations for this season. We look forward to having you guys come down and cheer them on this season. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your help down here.
Thank you.
We're grabbing a couple kids from the Orange Mite team, so let's find out who they are. Can you tell me your name and where you go to school?
Riley in Washington Elementary School.
Okay, your name and where you go to school?
Cooper St. Mary's.
All right, and you guys are in what grade?
First grade.
And you guys have been skating for how long?
A year. A year.
Okay, very cool. Now, last month we had the Riverkings help supervise some of our cross-ice hockey. What was your favorite part about playing cross-ice hockey with the Riverkings?
The foosball table.
We played a game and the Riverkings had to be a foosball table, and the kids had to skate around them. Cooper, did you have something else that you enjoyed while they were out there?
Same.
You liked that game? All right. So one of the things that we did this afternoon was we asked the Riverkings, what do they like about hockey? Now I'm going to ask you the same thing. What do you guys like about coming to the ice rink?
Skating.
Okay. And for you, Cooper?
Friends.
These guys have been skating together for a little bit, but we always have room for more skaters, so we're looking forward to having more kids come down and join us at the Try Hockey for Free on November 10th. So thanks, guys. We'll let you get back out to practice. Are you looking forward to the Riverkings game coming up?
Yeah!
All right, get back on the ice and keep working hard. All right, we're wrapping up practice here, and we're grabbing these two gals off the ice. Let's get a chance to meet them. So tell me your name and the school you go to.
My name is Delaney, and I go to Grant Elementary.
Great job. And for you?
My name's Jade, and I go to Woodside Elementary School.
Very cool. Can you tell me what's your favorite thing about playing hockey?
Having fun.
Yes, and Jade?
Having practice.
Okay, very cool. I love it. Now, as we wrap up today, I want to ask you one more question, but I forgot what it was.
It was, what are you going to be when you grow up?
Oh, what are you going to be when you grow up? Okay, so I got to say 3, 2, 1. What are you going to do when you grow up?
I'm going to be a hockey coach.
Okay, and for you, Jade?
I want to be a girls hockey player.
That's fantastic. And besides hockey, can you tell me some other things that you enjoy doing?
Dance.
Dance, and for you, Jade?
Gymnastics.
Okay, well that wraps up how many different things our hockey players do down here at Southwood County Rec Center, and we want to thank you for joining us today. Well, that's our November episode with the Riverkings, as we've been catching up on the beginning of the season out on the road, getting ready for bringing the Riverkings home in November, meeting some of this year's players, taking a visit to the boxing gym, and of course, trying hockey for free on November the 10th. All of that was in this episode. We'll see you again next month for a brand new episode of Riverkings Hockey, right here on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media.